Good morning. Today we might do a tips to working in the industry. So just do a tips video, little tips here and there. This is tip number 1, and I'm going to lose number of tips because I can't count. So this is tip number 1, turn up to work on time. Tip number 2, don't just stand around. If you've got something to do, do it. If you're waiting on someone, sharpen a saw, clean the trucks. Tip number 3, clean your workspace. Make all your teeth the same size. Oh, don't push too hard. Tip number 5. I'm going to lose count of these tips. Here's another tip. Tighten your chain before you sharpen it. Here's another tip. Use the right size file for the chain. What's this tip?
This tip, make sure the garage door is high enough for the truck to go through, because that was not my doing. We need another tip. Chop up the chainsaws before you go, mate. Let's go.
Here's another tip. Bang your file handles down like this. Here's another tip. Get a new file. I know you need a new file. Get a new file. Ah, that's better. Here's another tip. Before you sharpen, clean your chain. If you got wood, run it through some dry wood to clean the chain. Here's another tip. When you're sharpening, don't let the butt of the file hit. I learned the hard way. I've got 2 scars on my fingers to prove it. One across that knuckle, one across that knuckle. Here's another tip. Always have someone guiding your back. Here's another tip. As soon as you get on site, put your signs out. One here, I'll go put another one up there.
Next tip, never underquote a job.
Here's another tip. Come and sort out your plan of attack. So here's another tip. Do a visual tree assessment. Here's another tip for people. Always load test new system. Don't just look at it, load test it before disconnecting old system. Another tip, when you're working with rigging rope, it's good to tie a marlin spike so it doesn't go through the pulley and you can work with it comfortably. Whoa. Tip number whatever, don't slip. Here's another tip, always start at the bottom, not like me. 2 points of attachment all the time, not like me. That's another tip. Don't do what Dunny Dunk does. Don't do what I do. Here's another tip. The tip is to save these boys needing to chop anything up. There's another tip. Take the sharp bits off. That's tip number 35. It's not over till the branch is on the ground. Here's another tip. Take your helmet off as much as you can to cool your head off. Here's a little tip. You don't need to always your half hitch around it, because I've got this stub here. Tip number, I don't know, something. We probably should have been managing the rope better on the ground. Here's a little trick. Tie a marlin spike in it, hook it on, so now I've got the tail to work with, no worries. Don't have to untie a knot. Here's another tip. Don't spur your rope, and if you do, check it. Here's a tip. Put your scarf cut in first before you put the rope on.